Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're traveling through time, sort of. We found this video of a 54-year-old guy giving financial advice to his younger self. And we thought, you know what, that'd be a pretty cool perspective to explore, you know?
It is. I mean, who wouldn't want to get a sneak peek into their future and maybe dodge a few financial bullets along the way, right?
Right. So we dove into this video, and we pulled out some of the biggest takeaways that we thought could really make a difference for you. And this guy doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't.
One of the first things he says is, you have to save yourself. Nobody's coming through that door to rescue you. Kind of a wake-up call.
It is a wake-up call,
Yeah.
but I think it's an important one. He's really emphasizing personal responsibility. At the end of the day, we're each responsible for our own financial well-being.
Right. But I think for a lot of people that can feel kind of daunting. Like he even talks about needing to encourage yourself to save. I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like motivation isn't always easy to come by, especially when it comes to something as long-term as financial planning.
Absolutely. Motivation can be fickle. That's why it's important to build systems and habits that support your financial goals. Think about it like this. Instead of relying on willpower alone, which can be pretty unreliable, let's be honest, you set yourself up for success by automating your savings. Maybe you set up automatic transfers to your savings account every payday. Or you use one of those budgeting apps that track your spending and help you stay on top of your goals.
Oh yeah, those apps can be lifesavers. I've been using one for a while now, and it's amazing how much more aware I am of where my money's going.
Yeah.
And he also talks about the people we surround ourselves with.
Right. He says be very, very careful who you associate with, because those relationships can either lift you up or drag you down financially.
He actually suggests cutting off relationships that are holding you back financially. Isn't that a bit extreme?
Well, I think it depends on the situation. It's not necessarily about ditching your friends who love a good sale. It's more about being mindful of the influences in your life.
Hmm.
If you're constantly surrounded by people who are spending money they don't have or who are always encouraging you to overspend, it's going to be that much harder to stick to your own financial goals.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like if you're trying to eat healthy, but everyone around you is ordering pizza all the time, it's going to be a lot tougher to resist. So it's more about being selective about who you spend your time with and whose opinions you value.
Exactly.
Okay, now this next bit of advice is about embracing change. He says, sticking to the same old routine will only get you the same old results. Like you have to be willing to shake things up financially if you want to see real progress.
He's really emphasizing the importance of adaptability. The financial landscape is constantly changing. What worked for you 5 years ago may not be the best strategy today. So you need to be willing to adjust your sales as needed.
I like that analogy. We need to be flexible and willing to experiment. Now, he talks about something that I think a lot of people struggle with, the whole materialism trap. He's basically saying, material possessions don't equal true wealth. True wealth is about having your money work for you behind the scenes.
Right. He's challenging that traditional definition of wealth, which is often so focused on what you can see and touch. The fancy car, the big house, the designer clothes. But he's saying true wealth is about financial security and freedom. It's about having your money work for you so you don't have to.
It's like he's saying, who needs a fancy car when you have a well-fed retirement account, right?
Exactly. It's about prioritizing long-term financial well-being over short-term gratification.
Okay, but let's be real. Resisting the urge to buy all the shiny new things can be tough.
It can be, but I think it starts with awareness. Start paying attention to how marketing and advertising influence your spending habits. Question those impulse purchases. Do you really need that new gadget, or is it just feeding that instant gratification loop?
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes. I see a shiny new gadget and I'm like, oh, I need that. But then a week later, I'm like, why did I buy this?
We've all been there. But the more aware we become of those patterns, the easier it is to break them.
Okay, let's talk about a topic that can sometimes feel a bit intimidating. Investing. Our video mentor is a huge advocate for investing early and often. He really emphasizes the power of compound interest. He even encourages us to pay for our future comfort now, while we have the energy and motivation.
Compound interest is truly one of the most powerful tools we have for building wealth over time. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, gathering more and more snow as it goes. The earlier you start, the bigger that snowball gets.
So how does compound interest actually work? I mean, I hear people talk about it all the time, but I'm not sure I fully understand it.
Sure. Imagine you invest $100 today, and you earn a modest 5% return each year. After the first year, you've earned $5 in interest, bringing your total to $100 whole dollars. But here's the key. In the second year, you're earning 5% on $100, not just your initial $100. So you earn a little bit more interest. And this snowball effect continues year after year, allowing your money to grow exponentially over time.
Okay, I'm starting to see why he calls compound interest magic, but I know what some people might be thinking. I'm too young to worry about retirement, or I don't have enough money to invest.
Well, I would say to those folks, there's no time like the present to start investing, even if it's just a small amount. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound and grow. Even if you can only afford to invest $20 a week, that's $1,040 per year that's working for you, growing and compounding over time.
So the key takeaway here is don't let age or perceived lack of funds be an excuse to delay investing. Start small, start early, and watch your money grow. But I know what you're thinking. All this talk about investing can feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. Where do you even begin right now?
Exactly. There are so many options, so many strategies, it can be paralyzing.
Well, he makes a great point about not procrastinating. He compares delaying financial planning to waiting until the last quarter of a game to put in real effort.
Ouch, that hits close to home.
But it's a good analogy. You wouldn't wait until the last few minutes of a game to start playing your best. So why do we do that with our finances?
So how do we break free from that procrastination cycle? What's the best way to overcome that inertia and just get started?
My advice is to start small. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, focus on one area at a time. Maybe you create a simple budget this week. Next week, you research different investment options. The key is to build momentum and celebrate those small wins.
Little by little, those small steps can add up to big financial gains. Now, this next piece of advice might surprise you. He talks about the importance of physical health for enjoying financial success, specifically highlighting the benefits of walking. It's like he's saying, what's the point of working hard to build wealth if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it?
He's acknowledging that our physical and financial health are interconnected. Taking care of your body can have a ripple effect on your finances. When you're feeling energized and healthy, you're more likely to be productive at work, make sound decisions, and have the mental clarity to manage your finances effectively.
So it's not just about building wealth. It's about building a life that allows you to enjoy that wealth.
Yeah.
I love that perspective. Okay, this next piece of advice is a bit more philosophical. He encourages us to forgive our parents for any financial shortcomings, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes. He argues that holding on to resentment only holds us back.
He's addressing the powerful influence our upbringing can have on our financial attitudes and behaviors. You know, we might unconsciously adopt our parents' beliefs about money, even if those beliefs are limiting or negative.
It's like carrying around this invisible financial baggage that weighs us down. So how do we unpack that baggage and break free from those limiting beliefs?
It's a process that requires self-awareness and a willingness to challenge those inherited beliefs. You know, think about your own financial journey. Are there any recurring patterns or beliefs that might be holding you back? Maybe you have a fear of investing because you witnessed your parents lose money in the stock market, or perhaps you avoid talking about money because it was always a taboo subject in your family.
It's about recognizing those ingrained patterns and choosing to create a new financial narrative for yourself. That's powerful stuff. Now, this next piece of advice is all about the power of focus. He suggests that whatever you focus your energy on will grow, whether positive or negative.
He's tapping into concepts like the law of attraction or the power of positive thinking. Now, I know these ideas can seem a bit woo-woo, but there's actually some science behind them. Research suggests that our thoughts and beliefs can influence our actions and outcomes. When we focus on scarcity, lack, or fear, we tend to attract more of those experiences. Conversely, when we cultivate a mindset of abundance, possibility, and gratitude, we open ourselves up to opportunities for growth and prosperity.
So it's not just about wishing for wealth. It's about aligning our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with our financial goals. It's about creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of financial success.
Exactly. It's about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have, from fear to possibility. And remember, every small step you take, every positive thought you cultivate, is contributing to that momentum.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired, but also a little aware of how fast time is flying by. Which brings us to another powerful reminder from our video mentor, Time Flies. He reminds us that at any age, we are the youngest we'll ever be, and encourages us to seize opportunities both financially and in life.
He's highlighting the preciousness of time and urging us to make the most of it. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking I'll start saving later or I'll pursue that dream job when I have more time. But the reality is time is our most valuable asset and it's constantly slipping away.
It's like that quote by Benjamin Franklin, "Lost time is never found again." This whole video has me reflecting on the passage of time and the importance of taking action now, not later. So let's talk about action. Our video mentor has a lot to say about personal growth being the key to financial growth. He suggests that improving yourself will naturally lead to financial improvement.
He's emphasizing the interconnectedness of our internal and external worlds. When we invest in our personal development, whether it's acquiring new skills, expanding our knowledge, or cultivating positive habits, we naturally become more valuable, both to ourselves and to the marketplace.
It's like that saying, the more you learn, the more you earn. But it's not just about earning more money, it's about becoming more capable, confident, and resilient, all of which contribute to making sound financial decisions.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that financial success is often a byproduct of personal growth and self-improvement. When we invest in ourselves, we become better equipped to handle the challenges and opportunities that come our way, both financially and in life. It's about building a solid foundation for success in all areas.
Okay, I am definitely feeling the need to invest in some personal growth after this conversation. And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. We've explored the foundational principles of self-reliance mindset and the importance of taking action.
We've set the stage for a deeper exploration of these concepts, and in the next part, we'll delve into even more practical strategies and actionable insights to help you navigate your financial journey with confidence. Welcome back to our deep dive into this treasure trove of financial advice.
It's amazing how much wisdom he packs into this one video. It's like he's distilled years of experience into these little bite-sized pieces of advice.
He really has, and one thing that really stands out to me is his emphasis on action. It's not enough to just listen to this advice. We have to actually go out and do something with it.
Yeah, that's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Exactly. He even compares delaying financial planning to waiting until the last quarter of a game to start putting in real effort. And honestly, that's a pretty motivating analogy.
It is. It's like he's that coach yelling from the sidelines, getting the game time is running out.
Exactly.
And speaking of time, he repeatedly stresses the importance of starting early, especially when it comes to investing. He's a huge advocate for harnessing the power of compound interest.
He is. He says that young people should start investing now, even if they think they don't have enough money.
Yeah, he even suggests that we should pay for our future comfort now, while we have the energy and motivation.
He's absolutely right. Compound interest is one of the most powerful tools we have for building wealth over time. It's like planting a tree. The earlier you plant it, the taller and stronger it will grow. Imagine you have $1,000 to invest and you earn an average annual return of 7%. After just 10 years, that initial investment would grow to almost $2,000. After 20 years, it'd be over $4,000, and after 30 years, it would be close to $8,000.
Wow, those numbers are pretty convincing. I'm starting to see why Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world.
It's pretty amazing.
But I think one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of people is just knowing where to start. The world of investing can seem incredibly complex and intimidating, especially for beginners.
He talks about this. He says that you don't have to be a financial expert to start investing. You just need to take that first step.
So what does he recommend as a first step?
Well, he encourages us to break down big goals into small